How you guys doing? You are in New Orleans tonight, right? Let's get excited. How many of you are excited about tonight's show? Fantastic, wonderful. We have a fantastic meal planned for tonight. So how many of you in the kitchen, you've ever made, Cajun food? How many of you are excited to go home and make Cajun food? Yes, hopefully after tonight, everybody in the house. Okay, so first, I'm going to start with a classic roux. So when I talk about a roux, anybody want to take a guess? What is a roux? Like a lot of chefs, we talk about different roux. Yes, 100 points for that answer. Absolutely, yes. A traditional roux is absolutely butter and flour. But if we're going to go to New Orleans, well, what would we be adding to that roux? Anybody want to take a guess?
Cajun spice.
A little bit of Cajun spice? Yes, absolutely. But instead of using that butter, we're going to use something else that also has kind of more of a higher smoke point, a little bit of oil. So I'm going to start with just a basic vegetable oil, canola oil, and I'm going to actually start this process in my cast iron pan. Now, when I am creating a roux, and I'm making my étouffée, I kind of like to make it a little bit more spicier. I'm going to turn it into a red roux. So what I'm going to use is I have a Cajun spice that I created, a little bit of cayenne, just a little bit of Old Bay, and then also a little bit of paprika. And I'm just going to sprinkle this right into my roux. And that's going to help kind of build that flavor profile and add that little bit of spice in our roux. Okay? Anybody in the house, have a favorite kitchen gadget that you like to use? Yes, sir. Wine bottle. Okay. 150 points for that answer. That was a great answer. Yes, ma'am. Your husband. 1,000 points. That was a good answer. That was a good answer. All right. So let me ask. What does your husband make? Like, what if we were all of us, 36 of us, are coming to your house for dinner? Sir, what would you make us? Ribs. Ooh. Okay, that sounds good. Very good. Sir, this lady next to you is pointing to you. Could you do ribs? Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, okay. How many of you would make us ribs? Just you. How many of you would make us étouffée? How many of you would make us étouffée after tonight? I want to see all hands. All hands go up in the kitchen. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go in and glaze my pan just a little bit with my white wine. It is. Now that's a great question. So the question was, is that dry wine? So I like to tell everybody, if you like the flavor, you don't want to use a sweet wine, of course, but if you like the flavor of that particular wine in your glass, you use it. So, a lot of times a lot of folks will say, I love like a Sauvignon Blanc, can I use that? Yeah, absolutely. If you like the flavor of that wine, you can absolutely use that in your glass. But great question, 150 points for that question. Yeah. All right, guys, so as I'm starting to create my étouffée here, so a classic, again, New Orleans dish, what we're going to do is we're going to use that cooking process of smothering most of our foods as we add them into our pan. So you're going to see this is a very low and steady process, but it is really kind of expanding all of those flavors in our pan. So we want to make sure we're going to give it a little bit of time. So I'm just going to let that simmer there with a little bit of my white wine, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a little bit of my shrimp stock in here. So about a quarter cup of my shrimp stock. And again, I'm going to add the rest of both of them in here, but I really want those flavors to meld together. Okay, so I'm going to bring that to a boil. Could you guys just remind me, just yell at me when you see that boil? Thank you so much. All right, can we get an ooze? That was good. That was really good. Marcus, are you on a smoke break back there? No? Okay, all right, ready? Okay, that's okay. That was good. All right, that was very good. All right, my friends, you're not yelling at me. Our team captain, she's not yelling at me. I'm kidding, I'm joking. All right, okay guys, so now I've kind of added everything into my pot to start that base of flavor. And all I'm doing now is I'm going to just add my rice into my back pot here. I'm going to turn this down now to a medium heat and just cover this, okay? I'm going to add a little bit more salt in here. Are you intrigued? Yes, okay. This little guy is called a ball whisk. So again, Great for emulsification, love it. But when I'm making rice, so when you go home and you want to make rice, again, Amazon, like 8 to 10 bucks, like fairly cheap. But it's great when you kind of mix things, especially your rice, or if you're even doing your roux, it works fantastic. So yeah.
But it's a whisk.
It's a whisk, yes it is. Yeah, great question though. How many of you are fans of Tabasco? Or should I say, yes, does anybody, I feel like this may be a very redneck question, but I'm gonna ask it. Does anybody carry Tabasco sauce in their purse? Yes, Susan? Oh, okay. Does anybody know anyone? Does anybody know anyone that carries Tabasco sauce in their purse? You can all leave tonight saying that you actually know someone. I carry Tabasco sauce in my purse. I do. I just love it. I put it on everything, right? As you can see, I put a hearty amount into my pot tonight. And as I do that, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to find in front of you again tonight's star of the show, our delicious New Orleans étouffée. And that's going to be that delicious étouffée paired with our rice and shrimp and scallops. So I encourage you to please indulge. All right, guys, so I want to just quickly talk about shrimp and scallops. So when I'm adding my shrimp into my pan, as you notice, I wanted to make sure that I deveined them through the top here, and also I removed partial part of the shell, leaving the tail on. Anybody want to take a guess why I kind of left the tail on here? Yes, very good. It makes it a little bit more tender, and also it adds a lot of flavor too. So we're really getting a lot of flavor from that shrimp. So that's why I like to leave the tail on. Now, anybody want to take a guess what size scallop I have? So same thing, a number. I'm looking for a number. Anybody want to take a guess? U10. U10, who said that? Very good, yeah, good answer, very good. Good job, very good answer. Fantastic, U10, very good. You're absolutely right, and again, we're getting under 10 per 1 pound bag. Now, I want to talk about scallops, and this is actually a great example right here. So looking at my U10, you can use a U10 or a U8 size scallop when you're doing this at home. But I want everybody to really kind of look at the side of my scallop here. This is actually a mussel. Does everyone kind of see that? This is actually a mussel. Super important when you are really preparing those scallops, go in and just remove that mussel. By keeping that mussel on our scallop, what we're doing is we're actually making that a little bit tougher. So you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that you're always going to remove that mussel. And also, when we leave that mussel on that scallop, what happens is not only does it make it a little bit tougher, but it also makes that scallop a little bit more saltier. And I'm going to add a little bit of butter in here. Just kidding, just kidding. Just a little bit. Not a lot. See, I didn't add a lot in there. Right, no, see, I know. You're like, oh my gosh, yeah. We're going to be handing out Lipitor at the end of the show. Just kidding. Just joking. Oh, it looks good. Anybody want to take a guess what this is, what I have in my hands? It's a bracelet. To form my rice, yes? Oh, thanks, Kenny. Okay. Okay, very good. Perfect answer. Both perfect answers. You're absolutely right. 200 points for both of our ladies. Yes, fantastic. You are absolutely right. It is 100% a ring mold. So what we do is we use a lot of ring molds, in the kitchen. And what we do is I just like to use, you can use it like an ice cream scoop if you want. You can use, as I'm using this evening, just a serving spoon. Okay. And when I'm making my étouffée, we were laughing about talking about our minute rice, but it's important. That's okay. But I love it. You're good. You are so good. But it is important that you are using a good quality rice. So when I say good quality rice, in this particular dish, I would say long grain, jasmine. Any of them are really good. I love jasmine rice, right, exactly. Now, literally, I'm going to be taking this mixture and putting it over the top of this rice, so it doesn't really matter much. But what I like to do, and the reason why I'm showing this, is I want to make sure that I'm going to get enough of my shrimp and my scallops in here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Here is our delicious seafood étouffée. Thank you so much. you.